Hello readers, welcome back to PJL Books. Today the topic is Stories of the Season. I love Christmas. I mean that sincerely. Of course, it's been many years since I've experienced that intense thrill of tossing and turning on Christmas Eve night as I waited for Santa to come, barely able to sleep a wink, which of course wasn't helped by the fact that the night felt as long as Santa needed to get to the 2 billion kids in the world. No, what I have now is something of a more matured Christmas mood. At least that's what I tell myself. I now don the paper hat from the cracker ironically. But one thing that has never changed is my love of a good old Christmassy story. In fact, I rely on them to get me in the mood for Christmas. I'm not alone apparently. Whenever people are polled for what they do to get in the spirit of the season, watching a Christmassy movie or reading a Christmassy story is right up there with listening to music. And that's high praise indeed, seeing as I adore the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. Moreover, to writers, this is great news. Writing Christmas-themed stories have a ton of advantages. First, we all have very vivid memories when it comes to the season, fired by a healthy amount of imagination. It's a resource that's as rich as a Christmas pudding. Even if you don't celebrate Christmas, certain tropes of the season are still relatable, but more on that later. The second reason is that Christmas is, by nature, a time for casting off cynicism and diving into a big warm bath of sentiment and joy. There are things that an author can get away with in a Christmas story that would seem cloying and preachy if it were set at any other nondescript time of year. Can you imagine if, the Christmas Carol was set in the summer? You'd end up feeling sorry for poor Scrooge as he's harassed by ghosts. But with the Christmas framing the story and the expectation of what that brings, goodwill to all men, the ghost's actions seem justified. The third reason is that Christmas is the ultimate preset for writing. We all know what Christmas is, what it looks like, smells like, feels like. You don't need to describe what Santa Claus looks like, or describe the sound of jingle bells. The world building is already done for you, complete with a full set of Christmas tools to play with, leaving you to just get on with telling a cracking good story within those parameters or delightfully subverting them. But the most important reason of all, I think, is that emotional core. Think of all your favourite Christmas stories. Chances are that in most of them, your protagonist isn't exactly having the best Christmas ever. Not at first anyway. Again, Christmas comes with a pre-packaged expectation. It's almost synonymous with joy, as if everybody deserves to be happy at Christmas time. Characters who are having a difficult life at Christmas are instantly more relatable and easier to sympathise with because A, we've all been there, and B, we are all in agreement. People do deserve to be happy at Christmas. It doesn't need to be any more justified than that, really. As I mentioned earlier, it doesn't matter if you celebrate Christmas or not, or even if Christmas matters to you or the characters in your story. The emotions are still relatable. Look at Home Alone, for example. That is widely regarded to be a staple Christmas story. But is the physical presence of Christmas essential to the story structure? Not really. It could have been set at any other time of year. But by setting it at Christmas, it taps into those values of family, togetherness, and being careful what you wish for. Something that we can all relate to. I'll be honest, I think we're all aware that there's a campy kitsch to Christmas. There's nothing stylish about it, really. And that's what we love about it, quite frankly. That is something to be embraced. After all, sometimes having a look at the old-fashioned values that Christmas represent is a good thing. Values that have been around for a long time for a reason. And there's no better way to do that than with a mince pie, curled up in a chair, and reading a book by the light of a crackling fire and the glowing fairy lights on the tree. And that's it for today's Off the Shelf. Thank you very much for listening, readers. This is going to be on my website, the link of which is down below. So if you enjoyed this, have a look over there, and if you wish to discuss, feel free to leave a comment below or on the website. Thank you very much, and see you next time. Bye bye.